I hope you've been having a wonderful, wonderful week, and even if not, that is okay too, little bunny. How are you doing? Are you feeling over the moon? Do you know that phrase? You're feeling so great that you're so up that you could jump over the moon. Maybe you feel happy but exhausted. Maybe you feel sad but exhausted. Maybe you feel flat and exhausted, flat, and you feel like you should be doing more. Any way you're feeling, little bunny, any way you're feeling, it's all valid. Come to me as you are, and I apologize for any kind of sounds you might hear. I'm in my bedroom right now. And I guess the bedroom likes to settle. This part of the building likes to find ways to relax. Isn't that what the podcast is? Maybe, little bunny, maybe you and I are causing this room to go as we find ways to make ourselves and those around us relax. And no matter how you feel, little bunny, I would love to help you relax. Just drop. Let your muscles untense. Muscles you didn't even know were tense. Find ways to untense, unclench your face, but you can keep the smile. You can keep the muscles of your smile muscles. You can keep those flexed. And you can let your eyes drop unless you're driving, in which case you can let your eyes stay wide awake. However you want to be here, little bunny. This is our time to be how we want to be. To live the lives that just make us feel good. There's times in life that suck. And times in life that are great. And if we can make week after week, every Friday, or whenever you like to join in with me, we can make this just a good time, time after time after time. And we're pretty good at that, aren't we, little bunny? Yes, we are. We're quite good at what we do. You and me just being you, little bunny, and me, your daddy. And there's the room go. We're just all relaxing here. You, me, the room, and the people around us. Isn't that something that we can do? Isn't it? Wherever we go, we can spread a little more relaxation. Are you able to do that? Are you able to, wherever you go, in your wake, just leave people feeling a little bit better? Because we can do the opposite, can't we? And you know people who do the opposite, where wherever they go, there's just tension. They just leave people feeling worse, leave people feeling on edge. Sometimes it's a choice, isn't it? You can choose to be someone who builds, someone who lifts others up. That'd be nice. Before I forget, we're already on a roll, little bunny. We're already on a roll. If you would like to help me make a cool, special, meaningful episode 200 of the podcast, and we're getting close. We're getting close. The deadline is probably in the next week or so. If you want to make a voice note, little bunny, that says somewhere in it, thank you, Lindy. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy, Lindy. Whatever you want. I'm probably not going to play the notes all the way through, but probably just grab a little bit of your voice here or there and make some kind of little artistic sound piece. I think that'll be special. So you can go to your voice memos, voice notes, whatever it's called on your phone. Record. It can be 5 seconds. No need to go past 30 seconds or anything. But you do whatever you want, little bunny. Do what feels right to you. Maybe I'd enjoy something longer. Who knows? But as far as what's useful for episode 200, a little thank you note. And then hit share and email it to me. You can email it to lindy@lindy.garden, or you can do lindy@lindysgarden.com. And there I will receive it, and I will use it to make something cool. Other goings on, I think that's the main goings on. I'll leave it at that. That'll be a good way for us to make something special. So maybe you, little bunny, if you are feeling flat, if you're just feeling exhausted and flat, if that's not you right now, the time will come. We all go through phases, little bunny. Sometimes the phases last a few minutes, a few hours, a few days, up to a few years even. You may be going through a phase that is on a yearly time scale. There will be ups, there will be downs, and there will be periods of flat. And the wisdom I want to help bring you, because I think it will bring you happiness, is that even on the days where you feel flat, can you make the day worth it? Sometimes we feel guilty if we feel flat or even low, right? We feel like we should be able to appreciate. Sometimes, God, my room is really relaxing right now. I'll try and let it not distract me every time. Oh, hold on. Sometimes you hear me say how much we have to be grateful for. Isn't that right, little bunny? To have a room, even if the room goes snap, snip, snap. To have a little bubble here in the winter that feels nice and warm. I've got a heater on. How damn fortunate. To have a roof that doesn't leak. Incredible, little bunny. And to be in an apartment with a lock on the front door, in a building with a lock on the front door. What safety, what comfort. There's so much to be thankful for. Maybe you feel, you know that you should be thankful for things, but sometimes you feel guilty, don't you? That despite all the great things you have, and the food, and the safety, and the comfort, sometimes you don't feel bounding and bursting with joy. That's okay, little bunny. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. But what I would really love to help you with, it'll be great for your happiness, even if not in the present, in the longer term. If you can make the day worth it. If you're listening, if it's nighttime for you right now, and you can think about what might make tomorrow worth it. And if you're still in the middle of today, what can you do if you haven't done anything that really means something? Sometimes people have jobs that mean something. Sometimes people have jobs that don't mean something. So whether it's a job or not, there's something you can do to make the day worth it. Even if it's for your own sake, you getting better at something, you building a relationship with someone that you value, that makes you feel good, spending time cultivating, getting closer to someone who makes you feel good. You know what you can do to make the day worth it. A little word of wisdom. For any way to make the day worth it, the best thing you can do is just show up, little bunny. The magic of being someone who shows up. God, it's the best thing. I have a super nerdy example for you. You ready for your daddy Lindy to get even more nerdy? I've told you, especially in the early days of the podcast, how if you're looking for something social to do, I was strongly encouraging you to find some kind of Dungeons and Dragons group, you know? Reason being is that it's fun, but it's mentally engaging and stimulating. And it's social, and it's creative. All of these things. But you know what the secret is. The garden secret. It's that I've never actually played Dungeons and Dragons. Just giving you something that is ubiquitous enough that you can do it. I'm sure there's people near you. There's a group you can join. And I know it has all these positive traits. So little bunny, I believe it's next week, I'm going to be going to my very first genuine Dungeons and Dragons meetup, and I'm going to play for a week. So a few days ago, was it maybe 2-3 days ago, the dungeon master, who's the one who's leading it, said, hey, we need to meet up so we can get you prepared. And I had just gotten back from being in a different time zone. And I was so tired before I was supposed to go. And it was cold outside, little bunny. And I was on my couch and I was napping. I was on my couch. It was cold outside. And I had to meet him somewhere that was 30 minutes away, including a train ride and a long walk out in the cold. It's not someone I know very well, so I'm not necessarily excited to meet up with a friend type thing. Not that I dislike him by any stretch. He's great, but there were so many pulls for me to flake, little bunny. So many reasons to flake. Do you ever catch yourself in that situation where you have something that either you've obligated yourself to go, or it's just an opportunity that there's some meetup that you think might be relevant to you, some networking thing, some social thing, some show that's happening that you haven't committed money to. Maybe it's a free ticket or unticketed. There's something out in the world that requires you to get through a layer or two of discomfort, or requires a layer or two of energy. And you're inside, and maybe you're like your daddy and you're napping on the couch. And maybe you're like your daddy and you're escaping the cold or the extreme heat, whatever the weather is. Maybe you're like your daddy and you're on the closer side of some inconvenience, like driving or walking or taking a train. And there's so many pulls for you to flake. Isn't that right, little bunny? And on top of that all, you may be feeling flat. You may be feeling low. And you know part of your brain, maybe a strong, maybe a very convincing part of your brain, wants you to pull out the phone and text the dungeon master. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't. No. Let's do some other time. No. And you know what follows that? What follows that is that you don't end up making it to the actual Dungeons and Dragons night in the first place, or in the eventual place. And then you miss out, little bunny, and what would have made the day worth it vanishes, and you will be left with a day that was not worth it. Don't let that happen, little bunny. Don't let a day go by that, at least in some way, let me phrase that the more accurate way. Make sure that at least in some way, when the day ends, it was worth it. And maybe tomorrow is the day you start. Don't feel guilty if you're falling asleep right now, of which you may fall asleep at any time, little bunny. You can always just tune me out and fall asleep. That would make me very happy, unless you're driving. If you feel today wasn't worth it, that's okay. Starting tomorrow, always have at least a little something. Even if it's texting someone who you haven't seen in a while, or who you think you might want to grow closer to, just send them a little text. Brighten their day and be some kind of positive influence on them. Right? That's an easy way to make the day worth it, is make someone else's day worth it. Make someone else's day worth it. And it takes such little effort. Such little effort. Starting to make sense, little bunny. Or the little bunny wheels and the little bunny head turning. You're going to have a good bunny day. Even if you feel flat, just make it worth it. Just make it worth it. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel like you should have a different state of mind. Don't feel like you should be doing better. All right, I have my beverage. Let me shake it. It's something that you shake. Oh, that's your first hint. And then you got to be very careful when you open it. So give me a second. That's your other hint, is that it's a opening sound. Here, let's drink. The last hint is that it's small sips. I'll give you an even better hint. It's either one giant chug or it's small sips. Have you figured it out? It has to do with building things. I think building is just one of the best things you can do. Whether you're building something literal, or building people up, or building something abstract. You're just making things. Even if it's a social group, even if you're building relationships, making art, making a craft, working in construction, whatever it may be, building a company, building some software. And this drink, building some muscle, little bunny, building some daddy muscle. It is a protein shake. And I'm drinking dark chocolate flavored protein shake. So that's the beverage of today. I think I'm off the clock now. I've already said what I need to say. You get it, little bunny. Now we just spend some time together, enjoying each other's company. Are you up to anything? What's the weather like where you're at? Weather's really cold here. I'm back in New York. I missed the worst of it. It was even making headlines of just how snowed in New York is and how cold it got. I missed most of it. I kind of feel FOMO. FOMO, the fear of missing out. It was a bonding experience of New Yorkers to go through some crazy cold weather. And I missed it, which of course everyone in New York was wishing they would miss it. I would have loved to be a part of that super minor history. But that's okay. Sometimes we miss out on things. It's okay. It's okay, little bunny. Be kind to yourself. Oh no, I'm back on the clock. Be kind to yourself, little bunny. I should say this more often. If you missed out on something or you embarrassed yourself, you said something you regret, you just cringe at something you did, you failed at something you feel you should have succeeded at, you were overlooked for something, maybe even by your own poor performance, whatever it is that just makes you feel so critical of yourself. It's okay to be critical of yourself. Don't worry about that. But you must also be kind to yourself. Life is messy. It's just messy. So be kind to yourself. Do your best and keep moving. Carry on. Do your best and carry on. I'm looking at all these books on my wall. I was helping my mom look at places to potentially live for this next chapter of her life. And all these different places we looked, the people had so many books on the bookshelf. I go through books pretty slow. Something that I've retrained myself to do when I read is I purposely read slow now. Back in student mode, you're supposed to try and read as fast as you can. How fast can you read? It's this little quiet competition to see how many pages you can burn through in a short amount of time. You can brag about how many books you've read, which of course there is reason to brag about that, I suppose. But what's better to brag about is how much did you get from the book? How much did you enjoy the book? How much did you learn from the book? And little bunny, if you take your time and you just go slow, you're going to get so much more. You just will. No matter how good of a reader you are, you're going to get more out of it. Deeper understanding, more enjoyment. If you just take your time reading. No need to try and impress someone with how many pages you can burn through. No need to impress anyone. Just go slow. At least that's what I'm doing now. It's really nice to detrain yourself from the student mindset whenever that time comes. Another way to detrain is tests don't happen once. There's no big moment where you gotta impress people and just make it or break it. You get as many tries as you want in life, little bunny. You really do. You get plenty of tries at least. You can always give yourself more tries. There's a dream you have. There's not this one moment, unless it's something that you have to audition for. But in general, there's not this one moment where it all comes down to it. It's not really how things work in reality. In 90% of reality, you can try as many times as you want. You can make opportunities for yourself, can't you? You just have to either believe in yourself or pretend to believe in yourself. You can cosplay someone confident. If you know someone who's confident, things just seem to happen for them. They seem to get all these opportunities. Maybe it's because they're making them, little bunny. Maybe they're getting out there. They're introducing them to the right people, introducing themselves to the right people. Maybe they're taking social risks. Maybe they're just going for it. Maybe they're giving themselves permission to be cringe. I give you permission to be cringe, little bunny, if you've been wanting to build something. Maybe you take a stab at it. You take your first stab at it and you just suck. You're like, damn it. You try and draw and it just does not look good. And you say, I don't have the talent. Hush, 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 little bunny. Hush, hush, hush. I gave you permission to draw something bad. In the attempt of drawing something good, I gave you permission to draw something bad. I give you permission to poke around on the new instrument And if you say, oh, I sound so cringe, I sound so bad, it's okay, little bunny. I have given you permission, if not an encouragement. My encouragement, I encourage you to pick up the instrument and just sound bad at it. See if you can enjoy sounding bad. There's something fun about being a beginner, right? There's nowhere to go but up. You get to experience getting better and better. That's fun. There's so much satisfaction in that. So much joy, little bunny. There's so much joy to be had in life. And it doesn't always come find us, does it? It doesn't always come knocking on our door when we're on the couch, debating, flaking. Knock, knock, knock on the door. Says, hi, I'm Joy. I'm here to be as convenient and self-happening for you as possible. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. When someone pops in to your phone and says, hey there, little bunny. Hey there, little bunny. It's always nice when joy just comes to find you. But we shouldn't wait around waiting for it, should we? Be patient, but don't wait around. I'm patient, but I don't wait around. I'm still looking at this bookshelf. What can I tell you? There's some textbooks on there. There's one on hypnosis. There's some classic works of literature, like 100 Years of Solitude. That's one of the only pieces of fine literature that I read outside of school. And that's one that I went really slow. I really enjoyed it. I was wanting to learn more about Latin America. And I was asking, this was maybe a few years ago. I guess I wasn't asking AI, maybe I was at that point. Or I was at least Googling it. And I was researching online. What is the best non-fiction book to learn about Latin America? And despite me insisting it should be non-fiction, it kept saying, you really should read 100 Years of Solitude, which is fiction. But it just captures this spirit, this heart of Latin America. And it goes through time, as you can imagine, from the title. As it goes from being the founding of a town in rural Colombia. But it applies to most of that kind of northern South America region. Maybe even applies to Mexico, just culturally. There's a bit of a, I don't know, I guess it's a cultural sense. It's not zeitgeist, if you will. There's a heart to that culture, and it takes you through it through time, and you feel the history, various political revolutions that tend to happen, and the industrialization as the colonies become truly colonies. And then, 100 years, and then I won't spoil the ending. But the ending is, it's a great ending. Then I have a book by Steven Pinker. He's great. That's a great nonfiction author, especially Enlightenment Now. That's a great, great book. All these book recommendations. There's one on here, The Ethical Slut. That's a popular one if you care to dabble in non-monogamy, or at least even just curious about it. I actually haven't read too much of that book, but I know that's the staple text. I love having the staple texts of things, The staple text of Latin America. The staple text of a statistical look at how the world is doing. That's 100 100 years of salt. No, that's enlightenment now. What other staples do we have on here? There's a graphic novel. This is getting into some of the more, if enlightenment now is an uplifting look at history, of modern history, there's a graphic novel, Mouse, which is a rather sad period of history. I say rather sad, very sad period of history. That's a staple graphic novel about the Holocaust. What else have we got on here that's just a staple? I have on my bookshelf, a very weird gift that I got that was fascinating. The most fascinating gift I've ever gotten. This was for Christmas, and it was under the tree, a large crate, a wooden crate. And it's supposed to be the one that you open last. And I wondered who it was from. And as part of the instructions of whomever put it under the tree, you're not supposed to say who it's from. So there's this crate under the tree from an unknown gifter. And it comes time to open it. And we're looking for the tab. Like, where's the easy open tab for this crate? We're looking, how do we get this open? And eventually it becomes clear that to get this crate open, you have to go get a freaking hammer. And you have to dig out the nails or smash the crate open. 1 second, I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. And you have to open the crate. And inside, there is a very disturbing statue in the style of, is it H.P. Lovecraft? The very octopus demon realm of fiction. And there's a very strange book inside of it of short stories and bizarre newspaper clippings. And the book is very worn, very old. There's even some strange markings in it. And I won't tell you the name of the book. And I have refused to look up the book. And that was all that was inside. That was all that was inside. And I've read some of the book, and it just is filled with creepy stuff. And who the hell sent me that crate? It will forever be a mystery. One of the coolest gifts I've ever gotten. Have you ever gotten a gift that is just the best gift ever? Not ever, but the best gift you've ever gotten. If you've gotten at least one gift, little bunny, one of those gifts that you've had is the best gift you've ever gotten. I'd love to be able to give you a gift someday. Beyond whatever I am able to give you now. I want to make the day worth it for you. It's an easy way to make my day worth it. How can I make you happier? How can I get you exercising those smile muscles? As I drink my protein shake, how do I get you to get more smile muscle strength? I'm here for it, little bunny. I'm here for it. I've got you. You've got me forever. I could also use some advice from you, little bunny. I think Queen Little Bunny and I are going to do a little bit of an enhancing of our interior. We have mostly old, somewhat cheap furniture, and we don't have that much stuff on our walls. We don't really have a aesthetic to our apartment, you know what I mean? Our apartment functions. It's well organized, not always tidy, but well organized. But the time is coming where we might try and make it feel really nice to be in. So maybe you have an idea of what if you were to imagine where I live, little bunny. What would make you say, oh yeah, definitely that's where my daddy Lindy lives? I could use some mood board type stuff. You can help give me the gift of figuring out what vibe I should make my apartment. That'd be cool. Okay, I think I gotta get going with my day. I might start doing podcast recording in the mornings now. I think that's nice because I have more energy for you. And I love bringing you the best part of me. At least I like being the best for you. So me having energy, I think, is good. And don't worry, I'll get plenty of relaxing yawns in there because I think I'm always tired to some degree. Always tired, always a sleepy daddy. But I always show up. Don't flake, little bunny. Show up, make the day worth it, make tomorrow worth it. You've got this. I'm going to pause and write you a poem. You're going to hear it in 3, 2, 1. Boom, little bunny. Ready for your poem? Short and sweet. Lounge without guilt, but flirt with guilt if you flake. Because your life risks growing bland with each opportunity you don't take. Sound good, little bunny? The stuff that lifts you, that keeps you engaged. Don't miss out. Don't flake. Show up. Just show up, little bunny. The bar is so low these days. The bar is so low. One of the side effects of the smartphone, of people being contactable at all times, is that it's just so easy for people to flake. So you, little bunny, this is a hack for you. If you just show up, watch the great things happen. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, little bunny. Have a wonderful week, little bunny. Make it worth it. You can do it. I believe in you. I love you. I love you. I love you.